ẹni tó máa fílẹ̀ àtẹni tó máa gbé wọlẹ̀ nígbà tá gẹ́gẹ́ dúwogi lóko tó fẹ́ gé lulẹ̀ ẹni tó bá wọ̀n ló máa mí sókè tí ò ní mí kanlẹ̀ kò ń ṣe pé mò ń sọ pé bó ṣe mú na mistake mo fẹ́ kó consider àwọn kankan ní for my sake bẹ́ẹ̀ kájọ ṣe dúnàdúrà mo mí pé ká trade àbí kájọ ṣe pàṣípàrọ̀ ó yá jẹ́ ká change lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ táwa báyìí má fọwọ́ kan two face tí music bá lójú gá ìyẹn ní real face fún mi láwọn original padà kó wá fi move fake trade by bàtà la máa ṣe kó wá fi move fake fún mi ní dark green padà kémi fún ẹ ní scally àgbẹ̀dẹ dark green rocket gan tó ló rá mi fún mi ní yàrá àdó àkófin múde ziani bókú sílé bókú sẹ́wọ̀n gbogbo ẹ̀ ló dá kó kàn mí fún mi barista padà kó wá fi mẹ́lò mi mo mẹ́ni tó jẹ́ ń dárúkọ bọ̀ mo kàn fẹ́ mẹ́lò ni fún mi yájú mọ́gì padà kó fi mú girlfriend mi she's more than a wife òun mà tún ní best friend mi kò tí wá mú mọ́ ìmí kò tẹ́ ti jẹ́ kọ́ọ̀kú láìsí wọn dọ́lì fílà lédi mi ṣàṣọ mú wá mọ́ lóṣèlú tó kọlà kó fi dẹ́mkẹ́ padà kí bàbá fẹ́ lápadà káwọ́ lọ́wọ́ gan padà mo sì sórí mọ́ládé wáyé tó fi mú sọ́dọ̀ bílẹ̀ wúwọ́ ṣọ̀fàjọ wáyé tó fi mú sọ́dọ̀ ó dẹ̀ fáwọn fake sílẹ̀ táwọn yẹn pè ní pastor pọ́pù ló bouncer kí ló dé láì ṣe actor first born mi tó padà ó ṣe fi mọ́mú ẹlòmíì iná ọmọ tó jẹ́ kójú omi yóò ṣe fi wọ́n mẹlòmíì náà tí ó lè hundred láì rí wọ́n sẹ̀rọ̀ mi ṣó dìgbà tí bá fọlọ́hún sílẹ̀ tí bá lọ́n pọ̀ ẹlòmíì wáyé tó mú di sẹ́sìké tó wà tí ẹ̀ta fi ké wáyé tó mú mọ́mi Tristan ní time tó fẹ́ ṣoríire Bobrisky àbí dérelé abo àkọ́kí ní jẹ́ńdà wáyé tó mú dààmú ṣe kò ṣàtẹ́jì jẹ́ńdà ṣèbí jẹ́rí rólé ìṣàlódélé fáwọn Ghana ẹ̀ tó lè ṣe fún Naija ò ti mú sọ́dọ̀ Allah ìwọ fún wa ní díẹ̀ wọ́n padà kó lè ṣì wá sójà àwọn tó fi yàjẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù bóyá wọn ní sóbà àwọn kan béèrè fábàṣà pé kó fi mú Buhari àwọn àríjẹ́dì máa dàrú kan tó fẹ́ má jọrí wọ́n ṣe pé wo Naija ti dùn máwọn alákọ̀ọ́rí má fún mi lẹ́ni bọ̀dì mo ló ṣèlú ẹ̀dọ́ tó dán rí mo tún fẹ́ kó mú ẹnìkan mo dẹ̀ ní dárúkọ ẹ̀ máa jú ẹ̀ fún ẹni cause that man is very cruel ó bójú àwọn Ìlọrin jẹ́ during time sẹ́nẹ̀tọ̀ ẹ̀ bọ̀ ó padà tẹ̀lẹ́yìn tó gbégbá tó ju sẹ́nẹ̀tọ̀ ẹ̀ káníwà ló má tà ní kí làwọn yẹn ń dúró ṣe káníkú ló list jọ́ owó múrítàlá kí ló ṣe àsìkúwé kí ló ṣe tàfábàlẹ̀ wà.
Anyways, I was talking about before the network bug. I was talking about 3 ways to be rich overnight in Nigeria. Jimeto Matthew has a legitimate means to become rich, but is not free to share. Okay. All right. Well, if you have a legitimate means to be rich in Nigeria and you built from the scratch without having to be loyal to any of these few who choose among themselves or who choose privileged few to go and give testimony once a while or occasionally, kindly share. So as I was saying, you would notice that nobody necessarily built anything from the scratch in Nigeria to become rich innovatively, because they kill innovation in Nigeria. Lanre Anjola, the title of the song on the background is Ishe Ishu. It's sung. The song is sang. The song is sung, or the song is sang. The music is by an artist called Dubai in Songwater. His name is Dubai. He's in Songwater. One of the young artists we love, and we love their art and we are promoting. Although the lyrics in that song you heard are partly debatable and partly acceptable, but the parts that are acceptable is for you to judge. The parts that are also debatable are also up to the listeners. But I understand that some part of it, but all of it are his opinions anyways. But I'm just moved, I'm just fascinated by the way he used the art and he came up with that. But let me continue. To be rich in Nigeria, you have to be any of these 3 categories. But there are, if you go abroad and you see people who are rich or legitimately rich, you see that there are people who created things that are innovative. Bill Gates, you link his wealth to Microsoft, to creating Microsoft, right? Okay. Mr. Jimeto Matthew, I'd like to have this conversation with you. Maybe I'll chat you up, or just do an inbox with me. I'd like to take the conversation up. I'm also interested. I mean, I know that there are some people who are comfortable in Nigeria. Okay, when I say comfortable, I don't mean they are rich like Dangote. So when you see Thank you so much, Mr. Latif Ayontoye. Now, when you see those who are rich abroad, you can link their wealth or riches to certain innovations. For instance, you see Bill Gates. When you mention Bill Gates, you mention Festus Afofun, you're welcome. You mention Microsoft Word. When you mention Mark Zuckerberg, you mention Facebook. When you mention so many things, you find some innovative works behind the secret of their wealth. But in Nigeria, you just mention a big man's name, and you'll be wondering what innovative thing did this person do? For instance, you ask for the name of certain telecommunication CEO, for instance, and when you ask what is the background of that person's wealth, you'll be it was PA or driver to Babangida. Is that what they did? Is that innovative thing they did? Or they will now come up under the name of Grace found me. That is the catchphrase in Nigeria. Grace found me, or small girl, big God. We're not the big God. Or when you ask, you'll be hearing, you took loan from his uncle, he now used the money to invest. Invest in what? And got monopoly. Is he the only first person that ever got money from their uncle and invested? How come others were stifled to give the monopolistic privilege to that one person? And you also see that in the real sense of it, for anyone to be rich and stay up there in Nigeria, you know what they do? They have to keep others oppressed. That is the only other secret to being rich in Nigeria. They keep others oppressed, stifle them, because the harder it is for them, for the masses, the richer they become. For instance, while others were clamoring or crying that the fuel price was increasing and they could not afford it because salaries are not increasing, the more you are grieving and crying in pain, the richer they become. And if you study the trend, there's always the inverse. Anytime the masses are crying that they are hungry, they can't afford something, that is the same time some of them will be buying not only private jet or flying up and down or doing, that is the same time they will even be buying Ferrari for their own daughters in addition to buying other properties for themselves. The same time. It's not sheer coincidence. They have to increase it. So anytime they just needed more money, they just increase the suffering and the pains of the people. They might put it under this guy's name. They might call it they may say subsidy, or they are removing they are not subsidizing anything. They are only increasing the pains of people to make more money, out of which among themselves they have shares and commissions. They would have done their calculation. If you increase it by 5 naira, by the time 50 million people are buying per day, in the next 1 month we have so amount. They do their calculations and then they are among themselves. Okay, and then you also recall or remember that each time they even increase all these things, they become the richer, the masses become the poorer. It's always like that. And you also wonder why their services are usually the most expensive when they are the richest. It's not as if they are using the wealth in return, which is why I said they are not necessarily rendering any tangible service back to the community or to the people. They are the richest, but around them are the poorest. Mention any rich man in Nigeria, and I'll even start from Dangote. Dangote is the richest black man, or the richest African, but is from the poverty capital of the world. What does it mean? It simply means that they have to stifle everybody around to make one person a contrast, a significant contrast, at the expense or at the suffering of other people. Now, there's the richest black man from the poverty capital of the world, and you think it is Grace found me story that this one is? Or is it not the story of the person selling the most expensive cement that is the richest? It's as simple as that. They want to be the richest because they want their own commodity to be the most expensive so that they can be the richest. Meaning that people have to suffer more and pay more for their own. It's not as if they are using their wealth to subsidize anything for anybody. So when they say, God make me rich like Dangote, It's simply a story of oppressing others or oppression of other people so that you can be the significant contrast. It's just like that. It is is the story or case of the humanization of others or inhumane treatment of other people, just so you can have the clear hedge of contrast above them or against them or outside of them, or to be outstanding, you have to oppress others. So there's no way anybody becomes rich in Nigeria without suffering or oppressing other people. So that is the same, it is in the same vein that you see that anytime you are shouting, oh, we need palliative, we are suffering, who has money, do give away. That is the time they are buying sheep, they are buying boats on the water. Go and check. And they are also buying Ferrari for their children. It is not grace found them, concon. It is that they are oppressing other people, they are increasing your suffering to increase their wealth. So when I hear people go to church and give testimony, and the pastors also in turn use it to say, oh, ye do others who lack and suffer, but you shall be different. It is within that suffering of other people that you shall be rich. It is a story of oppression, the humanization of other people, increasing the suffering of other people so you can leverage and be richer. It's just that story. It's the same story. So we need to be careful when we hear that other people are someone, you are using them as point of contact. Really? It is because people have not woken up. The moment people wake up and realize that it is the suffering of other people that they use to create their wealth, you realize that most of these things will change in no time. So it is high time we now start looking for a way to de-emphasize making people suffer for you to be rich or wealthy. Otherwise, this same story will continue. And I always tell people, it's not always about whether you keep this or you keep that, or you want to remain an adherent of a belief or ideology. It's about, we have to educate more people. Like when you see some people say, I love that man, he send people go Mecca. I love that man, he do this, they do that. Excuse me. That is fluffy. That is vanity. Sending me to go on pilgrimage because you have made a lot from our suffering. It's just like trying to give me mega compensation to make me feel happy because I also stupidly cherish religion. And I still don't know how many times we ought to mention this to clarify it, that God is not religious. To find God, you can't be religious. In fact, the religious people are the ones who are even deprived of godliness. There's no God in religion. It's just a practice. Just like some kind of, ritual, cultural practices or something. There is no God in religion. God is religionless. God is not a Christian or a Muslim. So when they are using religion to keep people together under oppression, it's just like perfecting oppression. It's just like perfecting oppression. Using religion to make you accept the oppression, and they perfect it like that. They cement it. The religion allows these people to accept, to welcome the oppression, and they tell you your reward is in heaven. Heaven. They don't want to go. But you, be poor, don't worry. You'll be rewarded in heaven. For real. Not right. But Nigeria is in abundance. Nigeria is in the midst of abundance, and that is where it is really funny. Nigeria is in abundance. However, Nigerians are kept poor. Very poor. It's just like people in the midst of water, like you are swimming in the midst of water, okay? But then you are swimming in a pool of water, but you are complaining that soap enter your eye. There's a way they say it, like you dey inside water, inside a river, you dey complain say soap enter your eye. That is what Nigeria is. That is what Nigeria is. And they have used religion, seriously to perfect this acceptance of oppression. And that is why in most cases when you talk to people and you wonder whilst you are still trying to liberate some people, okay? While you're trying to liberate some people, they'll still be using religion as excuse to justify the oppression they are in. They'll say God knows about it. Have you ever wondered people telling you, God knows about it, there's nothing I'm going through right now that they'll even sing, they'll say Jehovah sees, Jehovah knows. Whatever I'm passing through, Jehovah knows. Really? But Jehovah does not approve of it. It is a case of oppression by other people. And until you figure a way around it, you're not going to come out of it. And that is the case of millions of Nigerians who are perpetually held to poverty and held down. And because people are looking for solution, because people are desperately looking for way out, they will subscribe to any solution, anything that sounds or seems like solution you submit or present to them. Example of let us break up this country. And as sweet as that sounds, it bothers me. Because I wonder where is the logic in if you ask them to identify the problem with this country. Agreeably, they will tell you it is corruption. Like we have been talking about since morning. How can few people sit down and cut all the wealth and decide to be paying meager? Do you know that some of these people own the biggest industries for services in this country? Yet they will fail or deliberately refuse to pay their workers even a good living wage. They will be the richest, but they are not. Mention a millionaire in Nigeria or a billionaire or even the richest man in Nigeria, are his workers millionaires? The so-called richest in Africa. Go and look at his workers. Are they millionaires? Deliberately, to increase their own wealth, they put people below certain level so that even their workers cannot afford the services that they provide from their salary. Or do you want us to even go to church where members' offerings and tithes are used to build schools that the members cannot afford by the time the school starts operating? They create it out of your sweat and they take it above your level or above your affordability. That is what they call wealth in Nigeria. Stifling others to enrich a few. So you can't be wealthy without making others suffer. That is the way it is in Nigeria. Except maybe there are just few exceptions. Share with us. I'd like to learn. But Nigeria frowns at being rich, doing something legitimate. It frowns at it. That's the story. And I keep telling people, if you say corruption, as we have all identified, is a problem with Nigeria, how logical does it therefore sound to say breaking up the country is a solution to ending corruption? It sounds logical instead that to say confronting corruption and ending it outright solves the problem of corruption. But saying that breaking the country up solves the problem of corruption, I think somebody should just present the nexus and let us see it. Because if you ask people, okay, if you want to break the country, because of who is the problem with the country, they will tell you it's the North. Have you been to the North? Are they enjoying more than you? The answer is no. Because the same way you have Tinubu in the South is the same way they have Ganduje. We have everything equally. As you have oppressors equally, they have oppressors equally. The same way we have people you think are brainless or you know, they lack character, they lack empathy, they don't care about people. It's the same way they also have the same thing in the North. So if you are too afraid or cowardly to challenge corruption while we are together, who told you can challenge it when you are alone or restricted or isolated in your report? Who told you that you not start looking for other republics within the republic? And I'm not challenging the idea to create a new republic. I'm not challenging it. I'm only saying if you are creating a republic for other reasons, I understand. But proposing breaking the country up on the excuse that there is corruption is not logical now. Give us other reasons that you want to break it up, not the one that is not presentable. Breaking up the country is not solution to ending corruption. In fact, it will even help it. Because by the time they now break the country up, you now see the few people who before used to be checkmated can no longer be checkmated when they are now in their own republic and there's nobody to checkmate them from, federal power anymore. You can't even checkmate them anymore. You see? That said, please, it is illogical to say the solution to corruption in Nigeria is by breaking the country up. It makes no sense. Find other reasons, to explain or to justify breaking Nigeria up. Other excuse, not corruption. That's gentlemen and ladies, that is the brief, the story of how people become rich in Nigeria. It is a grueling, inhuman, completely unempathetic process of marginalizing everybody else just so you can be a contrast or a significant difference. Show me a wealthy person in Nigeria who has not done any of this. Oh, how did this person reach? They will say, it was Miriam Babu, she was Miriam Babangida's tailor. How much does she sew a clothes? And you'll be wondering, is that all? That is the story of Grace found me. Oh, Grace found me. Grace did not find you, Concon. You benefited from the spoil. So just say it. Oh, I benefited from the spoil. Oh. Let's face the fact. Nobody is rich just, because, no. Like if you ask one musician now, say, he's son of a rich man. Okay. And when you say, well, you had a good platter, Yeah, you managed it well, we understand it. You were hardworking in addition to it. Yeah, people say so. But to now come and sell the card or to play the card of I started from the bottom, you did not start from the bottom, Concon. Your story is different. You did not have the same background with other people. You started from the highs, others started from the low, and we know the difference. It's just very clear. Although we know it's not your fault that now the papa we benefit from the system born you, no be your fault. You don't find yourself there, you built on it. Quite alright, it's fine, okay? But nobody should be selling card of started from the bottom to us again. We know stories. Okay, we know stories. Now benefit from the system. Now, so gentlemen and ladies, it's difficult, and I want to use this avenue to say, please reach out. Reach out to people in your country. Especially those of you that are abroad and you have something. Which people are suffering. Oh. Times are hard. Oh. People are seriously suffering. Now, because December is approaching and we just came out of protest and all that, a lot of people in uniform are now rampaging. PHCN officials are now going to disconnect people all over and increasing bills. Everyone is increasing bills. By December, expect food prices to even skyrocket. And however, salaries are not increasing. So a lot of people are going to go hungry. Crime may as a result or consequently also increase. Reach out to people you know. Give them something. People you know are broke. Send something to them. These are trying times. The rich are getting richer. They are increasing cost of services now to be richer in December so that they can smile more, travel more, holiday more, get pleasures more, oppress people more, buy more cars, jets, and all that. Buy Ferrari, buy Rolls Royce, buy latest to oppress and buga in town. So they will increase prices of every commodity they have shared among themselves. They will also want to begin to take the advantage to start attracting and impressing other people's wives, But reach out to people, send them gifts, do giveaways for people. People are hungry at the time when the few rich are becoming richer without rendering any tangible service back to the poor people around them. That said, I'm also broke. I hope you understand. Igotago? I don't even know what that means too. Just joking. But reach out to people. And that's the story. Now, the song I was playing on the background, which I'm going to leave you with again, is by Dubai. Again, the lyrics in it are the opinions of the artists, and some of it are debatable. Excuse me. Some of it are debatable. Some of it are acceptable. Listen to it again. Its name is Dubai and the title is Secession. Now I'll play it in full. Enjoy it. Bye for now.
It's Cool Face Wizard.
Lyrical Savvy Dubai. Mo ń ka Bible mi lọ́jọ́ kan lórun wá gbé mi lọ. Mo lálára wọn tó ti kú kò dẹ̀ sí kú lójú wọn. Ọ̀pọ̀ ló yẹ kó wà láyé báyìí ká dẹ̀ má rójú wọn. Àwọn ẹni bí dẹ̀ wà láyé tẹ́ tó gbéná wojú wọn. Go and multiply Ọlọ́run sọ nígbà tó dá wa. Ó dẹ̀ wo ìjọba tó fún ìfúlẹ́sọ kó fi sára. Ìwọ ṣá ló mọ ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ tún mọ̀ pin wa. Wáyé tó fún wa ń free will ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pa lófin wa. Kò ń ṣe pé mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ òdì sí Ọlọ́run bọ̀ mú oyè àwọn afá gidi tí wọ́n sì lọ sọ́run. Terrorists dẹ̀ wà láyé báyìí tán ló borùn. Wọ́n parọ́ lórúkọ ẹ̀mí tó gbà ó lé lọ́gọ́rùn. Ká ní mo mọ̀nà tó lọ sọ́run má ti lọ fúnra mi. Àwọn tó jẹ́ kó wà láyé máa lọ kó wọn fúnra mi. Èrò ọkàn mi dá lóòótọ́ bọ̀ ó kọjá agbára mi. Wọ́n lẹ́ni tó bá gbẹ̀mí ara ẹ̀ tó bá dọ́run fáyà ni. Èmi mọ̀ pé wà lókè báyìí tó ń bojú wọlẹ̀. Òun wẹ ẹni tó máa fílẹ̀ àtẹni tó máa gbé wọlẹ̀. Ìgbà tá gẹ́gẹ́dú wogi lóko tó fẹ́ gé lulẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá wọ̀n ẹ̀ ló máa mí sókè tí ò ní mí kanlẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe pé mò ń sọ pé bó ṣe mú na mistake. Mo fẹ́ kó consider àwọn kankan ní for my sake. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kájọ ṣe dúnàdúrà mo mí pé ká trade. Àbí kájọ ṣe pàṣípàrọ̀ ó yá jẹ́ ká change. Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ táwa báyìí, má fọwọ́ kan two face. Tí music ìbá lójú guy yẹn ni real face. Fún mi láwọn original padà kó wá fi move fake. Trade by bàtà la máa ṣe kó wá fi move fake. Fún mi ní dark green padà kémi fún ẹ ní scally. Àgbẹ̀dẹ dark green rugged gan tó ló rá mi. Fún mi ní yàrá àdó àkófin mú de ziani. Bókú sílé bókú sẹ́wọ̀n gbogbo ẹ̀ ló dá kó kàn mí. Fún mi barista padà kó wá fi mẹ́lò mi. Mo mẹ́ni tó jẹ́ ń dárúkọ bọ̀ mo kàn fẹ́ mẹ́lò ni. Fún mi yájú mọ́ngì padà kó fi mú girlfriend mi. She's more than a wife, òun mà tún ní best friend mi. Kò ti wá mú mọ́ ìmì, kò tẹ́ ti jẹ́ kọ́ọ̀kú. Láìsí wọn dọ́lì ìfilá lédi mi ṣàṣọ. Mú wá mọ́ lóṣèlú tó kọlà. Kó fi dẹ́mkẹ́ ò padà, kí bàbá fẹ́ lápadà. Káwó lọ́wọ́ gan padà. Mo sì sórí mọ́ládé, wáyé tó fi mú sọ́dọ̀. Bílẹ̀ wúwọ́ ṣọ̀fàjọ, wáyé tó fi mú sọ́dọ̀. Ó dẹ̀ fàwọn fake sílẹ̀ táwọn yẹn pè ní pásítọ̀. Pọ́pù ló bouncer kí ló dé láì ṣe actor. First born mi tó padà, ó ṣe fi mọ́mọ́ ẹlòmíì. Iná ọmọ tó jẹ́ kójú omi yóò ṣe fi wọ́n mẹ́lòmíì. 90 ó lè 100 láì rí wọ́n sẹ̀rọ̀ mi. Ṣó dìgbà tí bá fọlọ́hún sílẹ̀ tí bá lọ́ bọ̀ ẹlòmíì. Wáyé tó mú di sẹ́sì ké, tó wà tí ẹ̀ ta fi ké. Wáyé tó mú mọ́mi Tristan ní time tó fẹ́ ṣoríire. Bọ́bírísì àbí dérò ilé àbọ̀ àkọ́kí ni gender. Wáyé tó mú dààmú ṣe kò ṣàtẹ́jì gender. Ṣèbí Jerry Rollins ṣá ló délé fáwọn Ghana. Ẹ tó lè ṣe fún Naija ò ti mú sọ́dọ̀ Allah. Ìwọ fún wa ní díẹ̀ wọ́n padà kó lè ṣì wá sójà. Àwọn tó fi yàjẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù bóyá wọn ní sóbà. Àwọn kan béèrè fábàṣà pé kó fi mú Buhari. Àwọn àríjẹ́ndì máa dàrú kan tó fẹ́ má jọrí. Wọ́n ṣe pé wo Naija ti dùn máwọn alákọ̀ọ́rí. Má fún mi lẹ́ni bọ̀dì mo ló ṣèlú ẹ̀dọ́ tó dán rí. Mo tún fẹ́ kó mú ẹnìkan, mo dẹ̀ ní dárúkọ ẹ̀. Máa jú ẹ̀ fún ẹni cause that man is very cruel. Ó bójú àwọn Ìlọrin jẹ́, 3 times sẹ́nẹ̀tọ̀ ẹ̀. Bọ̀ ó padà tẹ̀lẹ́yìn tó gbégbá tó ju sẹ́nẹ̀tọ̀ ẹ̀. Káníwà ló má tà ní, kí láwọn yẹn dúró ṣe. Káníkú ló list jọ́wọ́ Múrítàlá kí ló ṣe. Àsìkò kí ló ṣe, Tàfábà lè wà kí ló ṣe. Akọ́ṣà ló ṣe mojúkù kí wà ní kálúndúró ṣe. Why say your good hospital tó bá bímọ? Kílómi Adéwàláyé báyìí tó ní bímọ. Why tó máa yẹgi fágàn tó parọ́ mọ́? Tẹ́ni tó ṣe Adéwàláyé báyìí tá tún bímọ. Why say yàn bímọ tán tó lè lọ́mọ gbé lọlé? Why tọmọ kú ní kò mọ kọ̀lá tó bí mama ké? Yẹ̀sí fún wa lówó ní mẹ́sàn-án tí wàá mú wrong one. Kẹ̀kà kó mú producer orin yìí fi mú Young John. Why tí wèrè ń bímọ tí ẹsẹ̀ gbẹ títì? Why 100% ń padà tó lọ fún 50? Why tẹni tó ní poultry ń ta chicken? Tẹni tó ní poultry dem kú torí thinking. Fún mi Gbénga Adébóyè kò fi mú Gbénga Déòsì. Why tó fà fọ ṣẹṣẹ pé tó dẹ̀ dáhùn sí lórí cross ṣàánú fólè tọkàn sápá òsì. Why tẹni rẹ fi kú question yẹn bá mi dáhùn sí. To lose loved ones gan ló ká mi lára. Lórí track ọ̀rọ̀ Bible ni ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ mi lára. Mi ò mọ̀ kan tí mò ń ṣe so dáríjì mi. O ti mú mọ́ èmi but bá mi kẹ́ dádì mi. Fáwọn tó dá tí mo ti lose track yìí jíngùlì. Ìwọ ti bá dárúkọ ẹ, ṣé mi àti ẹjọ́ níṣu ni? Ṣé tí bá ṣe kan tí ó dá mo lè parọ́ méṣù ni? Ó dá iṣẹ́ èṣù ni.